Hey guys, it's Jeremy with the Starfire Gaming, and what we're going to do today is talk about the Alienware X51. Now, I'm going to give you a review of this computer and tell you what I think. It's a pre-built computer made by Alienware, and I've used it to replace my own custom-built PC. So I'll give you some of the pros and cons of doing that, and just what I think. Keep watching. The Alienware X51 comes with many options. You can choose between an i3, an i5, or an i7 processor. You can also have up to 16 gigabytes of RAM, a solid-state hard drive, and a GTX 660. It also features the Alienware FX lighting technology. The size is only a height of 13.5 inches, a depth of 12.5, and a width of 3.74. Okay, one of the first things I want to point out to you guys is size. This is a full-size tower here computer. It's a custom-built PC. And to the left here we have the Alienware X51, and there's a huge noticeable difference. I would say the Alienware is more akin to an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3. So if you have a size issue, it's a really good benefit of that computer. Now if you have a custom PC like this, you can obviously pick your own style case. So you could even make something that small, but then it starts to get pretty hard with heat management and quite a few other things. But all in all, I think the case actually looks really good on the Alienware. Has some pretty neat lighting effects too. We'll get to in a minute. But first off, it's good to see a good comparison here of what a full-size tower is next to the Alienware. Okay, next we're going to talk about some of the features. On the front side, you have two standard 2.0 USB, and you also have a microphone jack and a headphone jack. Now the front drive is a pretty neat slot loading drive, so actually we'll just put the disc in here for you, which I do like those drives on the newer computers. And then you also have this Alienware logo here. Now this logo can be rotated, so if you would like to lay the computer on its side, you can move the logo so it looks appropriate. Okay, now on the back side, and this might be a little harder to see, but you will have two more USB ports, and you will also have a 3.0 USB port. Now, below that, you will have some of your sound card options. So I have a 7.1 sound going into the unit right now. And then you also have multiple ways to plug in monitors. Now because this is running a GTX 660, it can actually display out to 4 monitors, and you can do triple monitor gaming and run all 3 of those monitors at the same time. I have a bunch of videos on my channel here that shows multiple games running while recording with Fraps, so if you want to check some of those out, you can. And then towards the bottom here, you have your power supply, which is an external power supply. You can see I have the brick right over here, and I believe it's a 330 watt power supply. I can check that for you, but that's how the power is supplied to this unit. Okay, now I've seen a lot of concerns online about heat. This top portion here is actually where heat can escape from the unit, and you also have towards the bottom here, now this might be hard to see also, but you will actually have down here a spot for heat to escape along the bottom of the unit. So if it is laying sideways, you have multiple places it can escape. I've never had a problem with heat on the computer. I've had it for quite a while now, and it's ran very well. I've never had any overheating issues or any heat issues while playing games. Okay, now I'm going to cycle through some of the color options you have, and these are just a few that you can change using the Alien FX technology, and I will show you the software side of this in a minute. Now, if you don't like any color on the computer at all, you can black them all out, as you'll see here. And at night, looks pretty cool, so I always keep mine on. I like the extra light in the room. Okay, next I'm going to show you some of the software side of the computer. And as you can see, here's the 3 monitors I have running. And I will give you a benchmark so you have an idea of what to expect from the computer. But over here, actually on this monitor, love it or hate it, it does come with some preloaded software. One of them is the Alienware Command Center. I click on this here. And this is how you can change the color options of the computer. So you can see there's some themes already preloaded that I can use to change the color. So if I clicked on one of these options here, I could change the color of the computer right now. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I clicked on Flame. Now the color of the computer is going to change and I can simply just hit apply. In addition to the preloaded themes, you do have a color wheel where you can select your own colors for the PC. So you can sort of customize it on your own. There's 3 points you can change. There's these 2 panels that are on the left and right of the computer, and then the Alienware logo, which is on the front of the computer. Okay, the only other software I want to show you, because I think it's actually kind of cool, you can access this through all of your apps. I did order the computer that comes with Windows 8. So I'm going to click on all my apps here. And addition to the Alienware Command Center, you also have an Alien Autopsy, and it's sort of like a way that you can check all of the hardware on the computer to make sure everything's running properly. So I will show it to you here now. So this is the program, and I'm going to click on PC Checkup. Now I can run a default scan or set up a custom scan. And what this is going to do is go through all the different parts of the computer, your hard drive, your disk drive, your RAM. It'll go through everything and make sure it's running properly and that it's all running together well. So it's a pretty neat little system. Not sure how well or how accurate it actually is, but I've used it a few times. But I haven't had any problems on the computer to date, so maybe I'll have some more information on that later if I do ever end up having any problems on the computer. The whole scan doesn't take long to perform, so it's a pretty neat addition to the computer. Okay, next I want to give you guys some benchmarking results. This is using the Future Mark tools. I have the 3D Mark Vantage and the 3D Mark 11. And my computer has the GTX 660 in it, and I did get the i5 processor. Now, a lot of people wonder why you would get the i5, but I feel like the i7 is not necessary in gaming at the moment. It might become in the future, but this is a computer that I bought and I figured I would replace maybe in a few years. With the price point you can get it at, it's actually a pretty good deal, so we'll go over prices later. But running the results here, we have a 3D Mark score of 21,850. 21,703, 21,710, which is pretty consistent. So nothing weird going on with any inconsistencies on the benchmark. And then I also have a 3D Mark score here, 3D Mark 11, and that is 6,028, which there's a lot of computers that can do quite a bit more than that. But with these results, you'd be capable of running every game that's out on the market, and most of them with all the settings on max, and a few of the more intensive games you might have to lower those settings, but it is still a very capable computer with a capable graphics card. Now this is a breakdown of how the score is read, and you can see the graphics card is scoring a 23,482, and the CPU is scoring an 18,081, which are both pretty good scores. Okay, so next I want to talk about some of the prices, and then I'm going to give you an overall opinion of the computer and weigh some of the pros and cons of a custom-built versus a pre-built computer. But what you have here is the Alienware website at the time of this review, and you can see the prices ranging from $699 up to almost $1,500. And the thing you really want to focus on if you're looking to get one of these is you definitely want the GTX 660 graphics card. So with these prices here and the way these are bundled, you're going to need to spend at least $1,000 to $1,100 to get the GTX 660, but you would definitely want that for gaming, especially if you want to use anywhere like the 3 monitors. And the next thing you'd really want to focus on is the processor. Make sure that you do get the i5 or the i7 processor. Okay, last thing to talk about is the pros and cons of doing a custom PC versus a pre-built. This is one of the custom PCs I have here, and one of the great things is you can customize the computer however you like. So for instance, this case here has an easy access, just push the button and get to all the internal parts. Because the Alienware X51 does allow you to customize a few things on the computer. You can change out the RAM, you could change hard drives, and there's even some modifications people have made to putting in different graphics cards. which can get a little trickier, especially if you want to put one of the bigger graphics cards in there, like a GTX 680 is not going to fit without some heavy modifications or running it outside of the computer. So building a custom computer has many advantages because you can put things the way you want them. You can easily swap out your graphics card. This has a GTX 560 Ti in it, and I had a GTX 285 in it before, and I replaced it with the 560 Ti, and it's a very easy process. You can just take it out, put it right in. Now the Alienware, it would be a lot tougher to do that because the computer is designed as one whole piece. Think of it more like the way a console is created. So it's much more difficult to gain access to the inside and to actually change all of those things inside of it. Another thing that you can do whenever you build a custom computer is you can pick the parts that you want and get the branding that you want. Instead of having to use what Alienware puts inside of that computer, you can choose the top of the line or find stuff that's a little more cost effective to try and save money. I really like the EVGA products. So this is full of a lot of EVGA components, but you can customize your computer however you would like. So that is one of the big drawbacks to buying a pre-built computer. There's quite a few websites that'll let you customize a pre-built computer, but then you can get into some other trickier situations where you didn't actually put it all together, and if it's not a unit that they're making over and over, you could run into some issues. So I'd say that would be the downside of doing a pre-built PC. Okay, and for some of the pros of having this pre-built computer here, one, as we were saying earlier, size is a huge benefit because this computer has been designed from a factory to keep in mind all the components that are inside of it. So it is very compact, and like I said, some people are having some issues with heat, as I've read, but I have not had one problem whatsoever. So I'd say overall it's a very good design. The next benefit you have with buying a pre-built computer is time and hassle. You don't have to worry about getting multiple components sent to you and then trying to put them together for the computer. It's all pre-built for you, and you don't have to have the hassle of installing different drivers and getting things to run properly, or getting the wrong parts sent to you and having to send it back. So that is a huge benefit of buying a pre-built computer such as this, because that can get frustrating. If you've ever built a PC, you would know what it's like going through that. So having one of those options available with a pre-built computer is very nice. The next thing I would say that is a huge benefit is all of these components work together really well. I've had custom computer before, and you would have some problems, random things that would go on, and you would have to try and research, you know, the specific motherboard that you have or the specific graphics card, and you would still have to do that to some degree on a pre-built computer, but it is less of an issue because all the components have been tested together and they have been made to work together versus you trying to piece them all. Now, if you do have a good insight on computers, it's not difficult to build one on your own and get everything to run smoothly. It's just this is a lot more streamlined process, and it can make it a lot less frustrating. Okay, overall, I think the Alienware X51 is a great computer. If you're just getting into PC gaming, or you're unsure of building one, or you just don't want to go with the hassle, I think it's a great way to go. Haven't had any issues with mine, and I could keep you guys up to tabs if you're curious if I have any issues in the future. But as of right now, it's been really nice. I'm very happy with the way I have 3 monitors set up on it, and it runs really well. So overall, I'd say it's a very good PC, and it's a great option to buy. With you having something that's around $1,000, it's pretty hard to build something that is in that range that can compete with the computer. Now, you could get something a little better, and it would be a little cheaper, but you have to decide if it's worth you going through all the time of building one on your own. And for some people, it's a hobby and they like doing it. So, it really just depends on the personal preference, but overall, it's a very good computer. Alright, so that's my review of the Alienware X51. If you did like this review, or if you have any questions, please comment below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I have quite a few more videos I want to release for you guys, and I want to keep this going, so please subscribe, and you can get updates on those in the future. Thank you.